Hello, everyone. I just found out some information a few minutes ago. I had no idea a Ukrainian reporter brought it up. And I thought to myself, why wasn't this talked about from second one all day, every day, even now? I don't remember hearing it at all. And I am looking at this stuff every single day for multiple hours a day for years. I don't remember anyone talking about it. Maybe they did. Maybe I missed it. Vladimir Putin's birthday is October 7th. I didn't know that. I just found that out. And immediately, October 7th, that date sounds familiar. Oh yeah, that's when Israel got attacked last year. October 7, 2023. So a lot of people made the kind of obvious connection of if any of Iranian terror groups are involved or any terror groups, that Vlad must have helped finance it. Because that's what Vlad does. Vlad finances the enemies of the United States, and we finance the enemies of Vlad. We're doing it in Ukraine right now. So that's how it rolls, and that's how it's been rolling for many, many years. So here's what it comes down to for me. After everyone made the obvious connections, and I made the connections as well, I talked about in prior videos how the same drones that are attacking Ukraine are the same drones that are made in Iran. So the connection's obvious. The connection to Iran and Muslim terror groups and Russia has been obvious for many years. It's been well established and well known. So everyone assumed when the attack happened last year against Israel that Vlad was involved. And I talked about it in a video again where I basically presented it as a second front for the United States to worry about. So the United States couldn't put its full attention and money behind Ukraine. In other words, it was Vladimir Putin opening up a second front in a very volatile place, probably the most volatile place. Everyone has an opinion on Israel, Palestine, and that whole thing. And it's a very divisive subject. So Vlad opened up a pretty monstrous second front here. But what's more than that, his birthday, again, the attack is executed on his birthday. This is what Vlad thought would be a funny joke on the U.S. and Israel, I guess, and the world for his birthday. He obviously coordinated the attack with the parties that carried out the attack. The date was predetermined, obviously. There was a reason for the date. Yeah, the reason is it's Vlad's birthday. And he was sending a message to the U.S. and Israel that it was him, even though everyone already knew it was him, along with the Muslim terrorists that, hate Israel as well. They're perfectly happy to attack Israel every day, all day. The problem is the financing. Well, that comes from Russia. So basically what it was, in my opinion, is, it was a message from him to the U.S. government and to the Israeli government. And here's the problem I have with Netanyahu in regards to this. Why wasn't he on camera that day saying, okay, Vlad, you made your point. You wanted to let us all know it was you, straight up, by the date chosen. Okay, we get it, and we coming for you. Why wasn't that speech made? This is why that speech wasn't made. And the United States as well. Why wasn't this both parties out there saying, okay, Vlad, October 7th, you wanted to choose that date? Okay. You wanted to let us all know it was you? Okay, we know it was you. Now you're going to know it's us. When the time comes, why wasn't that stuff said? Why didn't I hear about it? Why wasn't it presented that way? I don't understand. In Netanyahu's case, I do understand, though. In America's, I don't. Netanyahu, what it appears to be to me with Netanyahu specifically, one, Netanyahu loves Donnie Shitbag, so those two are, in cahoots. And they've always been since Donnie began running in 2015. Well, who is Donnie Shitbags in cahoots with? Well, that'd be Vlad Putin. So I don't know if prior to 2015 or prior to Netanyahu's relationship with Trump, how cool he was with Putin. I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention, though, after 2015 in regards to this specific issue. Netanyahu and who he prefers. Well, what I've been seeing, despite what some of the things Israel says publicly in support of Ukraine, it appears to me that Netanyahu is not really on Ukraine's side and seemed to always kind of be on Putin's side. Which makes sense. Again, Netanyahu and Donnie Shitbags, they love each other. So I guess he got to love Putin too, because he's in the mix. He owns Donnie Shitbags. And just the behavior of Netanyahu and some of the things he said, and just Israel didn't seem, or Netanyahu didn't seem in full support of Ukraine the way other countries are, when they should be. I just didn't see that. It appeared to me that Netanyahu kind of was cozying up to Putin and was loath to say negative things about Putin or what's going on in Ukraine. So you have a Netanyahu that's cozying up to Putin. Then October 7th happens. That's Netanyahu's reward for cozying up to Putin. Putin used the country of Israel as a pawn in a game. Used the people of Israel as sacrificial lambs for animals that wanted to kill, rape, torture, murder them, and take them hostage. And terrorize them. In other words, Putin used Israel as a pawn, and the people of Israel, they had to suffer and die this attack by these animals financed by Putin, simply to get at the U.S., simply to open up a second front that the U.S. had to worry about financially, etc., strategically, financially, a whole bunch of different things. Now all the money can't go to Ukraine. Now more money has to go to Israel and Ukraine. They are both our allies in those areas of the world. Netanyahu's not a stupid man. So on October 7th, I'm sure he knew who financed it. I'm sure he knew who was behind it. They may have even known in advance. Who the hell knows? Because Netanyahu's political career was not going well. Again, Netanyahu's thanks for cozying up to Putin and not rebuking and rebuffing and, the same way other countries and leaders are, the way the United States does when Donnie Shitbags ain't in charge. His reward for that was a massacre of his people, one of the worst attacks against Israel that's ever taken place, if not the worst. His reward for that a year later, by not immediately sending Vladimir Putin a message an immediate priority, when he didn't do that because he didn't want to, and he didn't want to present it that way. His next reward was 180 ballistic missiles, probably sent directly by Russia to Iran, or paid for by Russia. One or both of those things. Raining down on his population. Maybe Netanyahu thinks that's good for him and his political career. He can be the savior of Israel now. I don't know. All I know is his second reward, again, was 180 ballistic missiles, which are very difficult to shoot down. So it took a massacre of his people last year. It took 180 ballistic missiles for Netanyahu to finally kind of strike back at Russia. When Israel bombed a joint Russian-Syrian base last night or the night before, that's the first remote evidence I've seen of Netanyahu saying, yeah, I can't be cool with Putin no more. That's what bothers me about this man. That's why I don't think he should be in, just like most of the Israeli people probably think he shouldn't be in charge of Israel. I don't think he should be in charge of Israel either. I don't like him, and I don't like his cozying to Putin. You can't have that. We can't have that. So finally last night, maybe Netanyahu's finally starting to realize, or finally starting to give the game up, whatever game he had going with Putin, and saying, yeah, we just got to strike back. I don't know. All I know is, and this is again what really bothers me about Netanyahu, on October 7th, Netanyahu should have been on camera saying, okay, Vlad, we know it was you. You're telling us it was you by the date you chose. We coming for you. It ain't going to matter how long your table is. The United States, why weren't they on camera in October? We know Vlad Putin's behind. He's sending us a message. Why weren't those messages put forth? And again, I know why Netanyahu wasn't putting that message forth. It's, it's yet another world leader that's dipping his toe in the Vladimir Putin, pond. When no one should be doing that. Vladimir Putin is a thug mobster from day one. I don't care if he was KGB, any of that. What he really is a thug mobster. And when you look at young pictures when Vladimir Putin was young, there's nothing there. There's nothing in those eyes. There's nothing there. He looks like an empty shell of a something. Even when he was young. I don't know what happened to that man or how he got to where he is mentally. But again, I saw a picture of him when he was younger a week ago, and there's nothing in those eyes. There's nothing there. And again, always remember this, Vlad Putin thought it was, I guess, a funny joke on the US and Israel and the world for his birthday to unleash murderers, torturers, rapists, kidnappers. And again, I don't know what your personal beliefs are, whoever, all three of you watching this. Ask yourself this question, though. What cause would you be willing to break into people's homes, rape, torture, murder the family inside, and take some of them hostage to terrorize them further? What cause would be worth that to you? I can't think of a single cause where I would even remotely consider what those animals did that day on October 7th, financed and helped in the planning Vladimir Putin. This is the ultimate abject evil. And they proved that force that did that on October 7th on behalf of Putin and others. They proved that they are the abject evil. Because again, I ask, I don't care what your political beliefs are. I don't care what you think of Israel and Palestine. I ask you this simple, basic question. What would you be willing to go into someone's home, rape, murder, kill, torture, take hostages? What cause would you be willing to do that for? Personally, me, none. Any president as well, if we want to talk about the U.S., any president that wanted me to attempt a coup because he was too chicken shit and obese to do it himself. Yeah, I'm not falling for that trap either. There's nothing worth doing that for. And again, if I had stormed the Capitol on January 6th, I would expect to be on no-fly lists. I would expect police to be looking for me. I would expect repercussions. And I wouldn't be just saying in court, well, Donald invited us there, because that's what most of the defendants said in court. The president invited us there. So that means you can just take over the Capitol, right? Because you were invited. No, that's a bullshit excuse of a child that's trying to get out of what they've done. Here's another thing. Once they got inside the building and they got to that final door and they started breaking through the window, and through that door was congressmen and men with guns protecting those congressmen. What I would expect personally as a logical, rational human being, as I was breaking through that window to try and get to congressmen, I would expect to be shot. It's that simple. Anyone that wouldn't expect to be shot, you're an idiot. Donnie didn't tell you that part, did he? That if you get close, you might die. Donnie ain't there in the crowd with you. He never wanted to be in the crowd with you. Despite the fake story about him grabbing a Secret Service agent because he wanted to go to the riot that he incited. And now we've even got some of his own words in legal documents. Make them riot. Get them to riot. So we know what the intention was, but we always knew. Now we just have verification. Again, what I'm saying is, what cause or what politician would be worth doing that? You losing your freedom. This woman who just went to prison for 9 years today, 70-year-old white woman who's used to the good life. She tried to steal an election by hacking into voting machines and giving other people access via her position in government. She just got a 9-year sentence today because she thought no one could touch her because she was white and privileged and had a little money and had a government position. Well, now she's going to do a 9-year prison sentence for Donnie's shitbags. You know, people keep glossing over this and they keep calling it politics. No, there were a bunch of traitors that tried to overthrow our government in various forms. This woman that just went to jail tonight for 9 years, this 70-year-old woman, she's one of them. And here's what it comes down to. None of you people believe in the Constitution. If you did, you could never support Donnie shitbags. You can never support that woman that just got the 9-year prison sentence. And if some of you out there had morals, you wouldn't be watching Fox News where you know what you're hearing is lies every night. And you wouldn't be repeating talking points about Haitian immigrants, etc. You do it because you want your team to win. You don't even believe it. I know that. So we keep glossing over the fact when we present this as a normal political situation, when it isn't, not even remotely. We gloss over the fact that Donnie shitbags and his cult tried to overthrow the U.S. government, and people outside tried to do it through voting machine hacking, etc. People are going to prison for it. They're getting indicted for it all across the country. All the rube peasants that actually did the dirty work on January 6th, they are all going to prison and serving their sentences. Of course, no congressmen, senators, cabinet members, or the ex-president. None of them have seen a day in jail. That's convenient. Just let it all happen again, right? Anyway, that's not the point. I want to make this last point. People keep glossing over the fact when they want to have a political discussion about this whole situation as if there's anything redeeming about the Russian-owned GOP at the moment or Donnie Shitbags. Again, Donnie Shitbags and his cult tried to overthrow the U.S. government. He was impeached twice. He tried to extort Zelensky into making up some bullshit about Joe Biden before he would give Zelensky weapons and help he needed. That was while he was in office. After he lost the election or saw he was about to lose, he's calling Georgia election officials, trying to get them to find him votes. He's an adjudicated rapist, fraud, defamer. He stole 3,000 classified documents. I'd bet my life a lot of those ended up in Vladimir Putin's hands. Make them riot. Get them to riot. That's Donnie Shitbags on January 6th. That's what I need to happen. That's a traitor, son. A proven traitor now. For all the people that want to make technical arguments. 14th Amendment, he should be disqualified. Not because I don't like him, not because he's a piece of shit, not because he shits his pants, not because he leaves the house in orange face, because he's a traitor who tried to overthrow the U.S. government. We have rules about that. You're not allowed to run again. That's simple. So I'm not interested in having a political discussion with anyone regarding Donnie Shitbags. He shouldn't even be a candidate. Put anyone else up, I don't care. But Donnie Shitbags is disqualified under the 14th. And just like I asked you the prior question, all three of you out there, what cause would have you willing to rape, murder, kill, steal, take hostages? None for me. What politician would be worth trying to overthrow the U.S. government for, to the point you might end up dead, like Ashley Babbitt? No politician. That's my answer. There isn't one on the planet that I'd do that for, because I'm not a rube. I'm not an idiot. Let them do the dirty work. Why do I got to do it? So now I got to ask you this question. What mental gymnastics do you need to do? What do you need to tell yourself in order to support an adjudicated rapist, fraud, defamer, guy who tried to overthrow the U.S. government, guy who stole 3,000 classified documents? What cause is worth supporting that for? I know the answer for me. No cause. Nah, I ain't supporting a rapist. I ain't supporting a defamer. I'm not supporting a fraud. I'm not supporting a person who tried to overthrow the U.S. government because he wants to be dictator. And a bunch of weak rubes are perfectly fine with that. No cause is worth supporting a guy who stole 3,000 classified documents. So it's a real easy choice for me. I don't want to debate it. We're way too late in the game for debating it as if this is regular politics as usual, because it ain't. I'm sure a lot of motherfuckers back in 1939 were trying to debate things as if they were politics as usual. Boy, they didn't turn out to be politics as usual, did they? So this isn't about politics as usual. This is about right and wrong. And Unlike a lot of you out there, there are no mental gymnastics that can make me be on the side of wrong. I'm sorry. Maybe you can. Maybe there's mental gymnastics inside causes you think are worth it. Whatever. That's on you. All I know is I'm making my final push against this shit. And it bothers me, back to the beginning of the video, what I was talking, it bothers me that more people weren't talking about this. Vlad's birthday is the 7th, and the attack took place on the 7th. October 7th. Pretty crazy. I wish Netanyahu would have been talking more about it. Anyway, so the real theme or question of this video is, what cause is worth supporting those things? Because I'm sorry, I can't support those animals that did that to Israel that day. No cause is worth that to me. I'm sorry, son. I can't support an adjudicated rapist, defamer, fraud who tried to overthrow the U.S. government and stole 3,000 classified documents. Everyone just glosses over this as if it's not real or something. Oh, it's very real. And those are just the tip of the iceberg of his crimes. So, again, people, tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself so you can sleep at night by supporting these things. Just don't get mad at me for pointing out what you're supporting. Because I can't be nice about this. Again, I know this is a team sport for most people, politics, whatever. And they could put the devil up, and if the devil has the right letter next to his name, R or D, people will vote for it. I'm a little more complex than that. And there's no mental gymnastics or argument that's going to make me feel okay with supporting those animals that attacked Israel that day, October 7th. Supporting Vladimir Putin in any way. And supporting an adjudicated rapist. A criminal! Adjudicated. Proven. I don't know how certain people just, I guess the lies they hear, whatever, that swirls around in their head, and they can justify siding with evil. I can't side with evil, and I can't be nice about it, and I can't co-sign people that side with evil because they're mad at me because I'm speaking about their preferred political party or candidate. This stuff is way, way bigger than the team sport people realize. And the people that I'm willing to support the devil as long as it's the cause that I care about. What I'm talking about is much higher than that. And the implications of siding with evil and endorsing it and helping it happen are enormous. And I don't want those, I don't want that hanging over my head. So I can't be nice about it. I can't beat around the bush anymore. I can't have long debates with people. We way past that point. If you haven't learned if January 6th wasn't enough for you, if extorting Zelensky, if the porn star hush money shit, all of it, grab them by the you-know-what, all of that wasn't enough for you, it's never going to be enough. You're just going to stay on the side of evil. Okay, that's your choice. I ain't mad at you. Just don't get mad at me, that's all, for what you chose. Because all I'm stating here is reality, that's it. And I'm talking to the general public, not about anyone specific. All I'm stating is reality. I know that makes the devil real mad. And by the devil, I mean the right-wing terror grift machine, the Russians, all the evil people. And the people that support evil because it's a team sport for them. They don't understand history. They haven't read what I read. They don't know what I know. It's a football game to them. What I'm talking about is much higher than that. I'm on a plane you people can't fathom in regards to this. One, I'll say, get out of the cult while you can. I've been saying it for 7 years. Even longer. Get out of the cult while you can. Don't sit there and do mental backflips and gymnastics so you can sleep at night by co-signing and promoting and trying to make evil happen. Giving you advice. I know people won't listen. Everyone thinks they're the wise one. I know. Believe me, I know. Trust me. I don't have any nefarious intentions. Unlike that orange weasel you want to make happen. Because the cause is worth it to you. Cause ain't worth it to me. Not for any politician. I ain't storming no building for a politician. I ain't getting shot for a politician. I'm not supporting a politician or endorsing a politician that tried to overthrow our government and is a criminal, an adjudicated one, and an outright liar, an adjudicated defamer liar. No cause is worth any of that. No cause is worth killing, murdering, torturing, breaking into innocent people's homes, unarmed civilians, while you're armed to the teeth. No cause is worth that. I'm sorry. Wake up. Join the right side of it. And that doesn't mean Democrat. That means good. That's what this comes down to again. Good, right versus wrong, good versus evil. There's no politics involved. Don't look at it as a team sport. Look at it as, can I endorse that? Do I want to coast? Do I want my name on that orange thing walking around? Who only cares about himself? I don't know. You ask yourselves the question. Have a good night.